What's going on, fellas, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, everybody? Happy Father's Day, first and foremost. This is the Sideline Junkies. This show is called the Sunday Rise. This is what we do when we do what we do. We want to thank everybody for watching. This past week, we debuted a new show called the Friday Night Freestyle. We also had our regular shows on this week, and if you commented on any of those shows, we thank you tremendously. If you watched any of those shows, hopefully all, we thank you for that as well. But this morning, you get the Midnight Rider, you get the big guy KG, two guys. It's gonna have some fun. There might be some songs dropped today. We got a nice, interesting flavor of sports topics today. We debut a segment. This week we put a Nats player in the spotlight. So you've heard us talk about certain players all season long, but now each week we're gonna try to spotlight a player that's doing well or doing better than we thought, or just had a tremendous week. This week's goes to somebody that I knew he was gonna play well if he got the chance. And with this new format and setup, kid's been balling. But with that being said, let's get you started. Let's get this kicked off. So big guy KG, go ahead and do your thing and lead us off because you're the host of the show.
Well, now, thank you, Midnight Rider, for that rousing introduction. Welcome, everybody, to the Sunday Rise, also known as the best place to start your week off, right? Most important question, Midnight Rider, how you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm ready to go. I charged up the battery. Um, it took a little while. I had to keep pumping the brake a little bit because it wouldn't quite turn over. Now that it's turned over, it's ready to go, baby. And before I go further, I gotta do this. Um, for all the fathers, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing a great job. To mine in particular, thank you because I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you. All those days at the Capitol Center, all those days at MCI, RFK, whatever they call FedEx now, um, Memorial Stadium, Nats Park. Probably one of my best memories is the first time we walked into RFK when the Nats came back. And I literally had tears in my eyes because this was something that I had wished for as a kid. And I knew it's something that he experienced. And then it was coming back to him. Um, One of the best things you can do as a father is create memories with your kid. And you don't always have to say, I love you. As long as your actions show it, it's going to happen. They're going to feel it. I can't tell you how many times I've said I love you to my dad. Probably towards the end of my life or his life, I said it more. But in the beginning, it was just like, no. So what I'm going to say, because Matty Ice says this all the time. He says, tell your loved ones you love them because you never know what tomorrow brings. So today, I'm telling you, big guy, I'm telling all the sideline junkies and the people that are watching, I love you guys. Thank you. And I'll see you again next time we do this when we do another show. So go ahead and take it from there, KJ.
Well, I'm normally I don't piggyback, but I'm gonna piggyback on this, and I'm gonna tell you, I love you too, brother, and I'm thankful. Even though I never got to meet your pops, I'm thankful for your pops because if it wasn't for your pops, we wouldn't be able to sit here, you know. And thankful for your moms too, man. And I know for a fact the way you talk about your dad, if I'd have got a chance to meet him, the questions that I would have had, he probably would say, don't bring that big boy back to my house no more. He just keep asking
nah,
questions.
you know, nah, he wouldn't have, dude, because my buddy Markel used to do that. Like I'd be out, I'd come house from the bar, I come in the house, open the door. It's either my boy Markel, his son A, or my cousin CC. And they sitting there with him watching the games, man. And I just keep going. Then there's that one day I came home after dropping Josh off, and I'm walking through the house. My boy on this side, my pops in his chair, and I hear what's that car song, "Life Is a Hero" or whatever it is. I hear that playing, and I look at both of them, and I'm like, y'all know Josh not here, right? Y'all ain't got to watch this. And they was like, man, it was just on, and we just got stuck. I was like, all right, so big guy, you would never have worn out your welcome, especially if you brought him food too. You brought him a nice cold cut sandwich or a nice steak and cheese. Man, you'd be his best buddy.
Oh shoot, you already know with the cold cuts. I got you.
He might mess up
I
your
got
name
you.
the first 2 times. What's his name? KG, LG, whatever his name. He stopped by. Okay, Dad. All right, I got you.
But thankful for you, brother.
Thankful
Everything you
God,
bring
man.
to the table, man, all across the board, whether it's show wise, personal wise, whatever. So, are we going in order what you got on this rundown?
That's hey man, flip a coin, do whatever. I don't care if you randomize it. Just if it's 2 topics, just do the 2 topics together. That's all I'm saying. Like if it's baseball, do the 2 baseball topics in order, that type of thing.
All right. Let's start off with this one. I don't know if this is yours or this is mine.
I think that's yours.
Okay. This was from I did a recording on Thursday that was supposed to air on Friday, but being as though that I'm the perfectionist that I am when it comes to production and show wise, I did not like the way it came out. And I this is funny because normally I've done Len Bias tributes, Jay Bias tributes, and what if shows by myself for the longest, but I struggled trying to do this because I didn't have my tag team partner to play off of. I tried to get a hold of Lee Ice, couldn't get a hold of him, and I was like, damn, I feel off. So real quick, Friday made the 40th anniversary of the death of Len Bias, and one thing I've always said on this network is that we don't focus on the events surrounding his death because number one, we weren't in Washington Hall to know what happened. Now I have my beliefs that what was quote unquote the official report, I don't believe it, but that is me. But 40 years ago, 2 days after being drafted by the world champion Boston Celtics, Len Bias passed away. And we have been wondering for 40 years what could have been, what if. One thing that Midnight Rider and I don't agree on is that in 87, the Celtics would have beat the Lakers in 6. He said Lakers in 6. I say Celtics in 4, actually. But, we don't agree on that.
I love how you keep saying it to make yourself believe it. It's okay. We know the truth.
But I will say this. Michael Jordan is the only megastar that didn't have another megastar beside him. Len Bias would have been that other megastar. Magic had Bird. Russell had Chamberlain. Every era. Dr. J had Iceman. Every megastar had a comp that pushed him. That would have been Jordan's muse. So, we always talk about what if.
And
I don't think there would have been a Bad Boys dynasty. I don't think the Rockets would have won 2 in the 90s. I don't think Jordan would have retired. So,
I think that's an interesting dynamic because it would have made it harder for Jordan for sure. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful because those Isaiah Thomas led Pistons was a damn good ball club. And they were so damn good that they took out the trilogy. They took out Bird, Magic, and Michael in a couple of their playoff runs, which is something that speaks to them in totality. And it's kind of why I get upset a little bit when people disrespect the Pistons, especially Isaiah Thomas, where he doesn't get the love he deserves. But I'm gonna stay on top. And with Lenny, I don't know if we ever saw that combination again. I think the closest we ever got to kind of that body build, we lost that too. I thought Hank could have been a good variation of Lenny. Um, for those that don't know, Hank Gathers, um, known for passing away on the court. Um, I think that was 90 or 89.
1990.
All right. Um, just another freak of nature athlete. Um, big guy, athletic as hell, could do things that normal people can't do. And when I think of Lenny in that way. And I know I say Lakers in six because I believe Lakers in six, but Lenny would have made it very hard for that Lakers team in that stretch. I'll give you that. They would have made it difficult. Um, ooh. All right, let's get to Anthony because Anthony's on the road today. Go down to skip his baseball stuff till we get to baseball.
Okay.
Um, let's get Boss Man and him first. Say their
Yeah.
first. Let's get those
Happy
out.
Father's Day to the boss, BJ, Anthony. Happy Father's Day to you too. Thank y'all.
Same for me, man. Thank y'all. All right.
And Anthony said, I'm not sure Michael Jordan was being nice, but he said coming out of college, he was leaving in North Carolina that Lynn was a better athlete and was a better basketball player than he was. That right there was true because they see the thing that people don't know. They did a camp together in high school. And what were they? I think they were a year apart.
Yeah, I think so.
And they did a camp in high school. Now, if you've never read the book Born Ready, it's a collection of stories and the timeline of Len Bias's entire life. And they talk about people that were actually in the room, that they roomed together. You know, they worked in the dining hall together, they roomed together, they balled together. They would never put both of them on the same team. Because they was like, it's not fair having both of them on the same team. But they say when they met, they were roommates, and other guys in the room was like they introduced them, and MJ was like, yeah, they call me Ice, and Lynn looked at him and said, yeah, well, they call me Black Ice. They laughed about it, and then they said they didn't sleep because they sat up all night talking about the future, talking about this and that. Everybody said that in Len Bias's senior year, even though MJ had been in the league for 2 years, they was like he was a more complete player than Michael Jordan because he had the jump shot, he could fly, he could take you to the lane, and he could play defense. Remember, MJ didn't have a solid jump shot early in his career. It was good, but it wasn't as good as it became. So, yeah, I don't think he was being nice. I think that was just absolutely true. And Anthony said, would you say LeBron is pretty close to Len Midnight in KG terms of what you're talking about, body type and athletic ability?
I'm thinking. So you can go ahead and start first.
I said this maybe about, I think when LeBron first came in the league, I said 6'8", 260. I mean, he was LeBron at that time before he lost the weight because, he wanted to have longevity in his career. I said that, yeah, he's probably modern day. And everybody said, well, LeBron don't have a jump shot. LeBron got a jump shot. I said, only thing is LeBron won't go and take people in the paint when he got a mismatch and back him down. Because, nobody's going to stop that freight train. He looked like he was chiseled out of granite at the time. But I would have said that maybe 15 years ago.
His early years, I could see it.
Yeah.
Early years, he was lean. He was a little bit leaner. I can see it. I definitely can see it. So that's a good call, Anthony.
LeBron could fly. Remember, he was jumping head above the rim type stuff.
Oh,
he was out of there.
All right. Anthony, you got to give us some kind of contact if you got Facebook or something like that, because we kind of want to reach out to you on a offline. Put a bug in your ear, see what's up.
And if you don't feel comfortable sending it, of course, on YouTube, shoot an email over to sidelinejunkies247@gmail.com and put in the subject line Anthony's contact information. Yep. And I'll make sure it gets to the Midnight Rider.
Or you can simply find Ben Conti on Facebook. I'm there. If you have Facebook, I'm there as well. So, all right, let's go. We got another. Yep.
From the Mrs. Boss, happy Father's Day, fellas. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Boss.
I think, but that's pretty much the 40 years of What If for me.
All right, I'm good with that. Let's hit a break and let's reset. Wherever you want to go is where we going next.
Well, we'll stick in the NBA. We'll stick in the NBA when we come back because we got draft to talk about and we got stuff to really get into when it comes to this draft. So stay tuned.
I know you got questions, so extra questions too.
Oh yeah. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Tonight, the bell rings and the stories begin. Welcome to the ride.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that put big money on, probably your life savings on the big guy KG playing a WrestleManiacs commercial in the first segment, after the first segment, congratulations. That money's coming in. I know now the number might not have been good because more than likely that's probably minus 240 for him to play a WrestleManiacs commercial after the first segment. So you didn't make a whole bunch of money, but hey, congratulations, man. Money well spent. With that being said, thank you for watching the Sideline Junkies Father's Day version or Father's Day edition. I'm the Midnight Rider. He's the big guy, KG. We're going to go ahead and make our next stop on this Sunday Rise, or I should say make it our first reading. If you want to stay with the church theme, our first reading is from the book of NBA. And I'll let the big guy, KG, host away. Go ahead, dog. Take it away.
On Tuesday night, you got two things happening. Number one, you got the NBA draft going on live from the Velvet Room at Madison Square Garden, if I'm not mistaken. Then from there, at 8 o'clock, you have a special edition of a collab between the Tuesday Night Flight and Nothing But Net. So make sure you tune in for that. But here we are. 2026 draft. Washington Wizards hold the first pick.
We're just doing the top 10.
Just doing the top 10. We already know who should go number one. Even though we got that PTSD. Well, I do at least, but you got that PTSD, you should know who's going number one.
Do we?
I mean,
hold on. All right, let's start. Let's go ahead and start. Here we go. Let's go. Start it here. Who goes number one, KG?
AJ DeBasta.
All right. Well, you can live with that. I'm taking Darren Peterson. I'm taking Peterson over AJ. I've been on this train the whole time. Choo choo, let's go. And on CBS, I forgot I apologize to the writer who I used this. He took AJ DeBonsa as well with his first pick. So that's number 1 off the board. Looks like Anthony. Look at Anthony. Great minds think alike. This is why I like Anthony. Honestly, I think they're going to draft Peterson over AJ.
But isn't Peterson the kid out of Kansas that keep taking himself out of the games? You don't know what's wrong with him medically.
You got to take what that was. And remember when Will Smith told you got to put his mama's titties and all that stuff in that box and throw that bitch way out. So only Jock, like his Kansas time, you got to put that in there in that little box, and then you got to throw it out into the middle of the ocean. And the reason you got to do that is because I think people don't humanize sports at times. Because if we humanized it and you looked at what the kid went through, they said he had a full body cramp. When if you ever experienced a full body cramp and feel like you think you're about to die, you get a gunshot. And I think that's exactly what this is. And I told you, because we had this conversation 2 years ago, maybe 3, when there's a certain kid that you liked out of Sierra Canyon High School that had a heart attack or a heart issue during the summer workout at USC. And I told you then that he would only be there for 1 year because there's no way that LeBron trusts their medical staff. A few years back, University of Maryland had a football player die during a workout. And I'm not trying to compare these things. I'm just saying there are certain times where you got to question or have some athletic trainers to a certain standard, because sometimes they can mess up. And I think this was a situation where I think this kid wanted to do his best to put weight on. And maybe he did this outside of the trainers knowing. Because I had a coworker at one point. She was trying to lose weight for her wedding. And back when, what's the drug? Xenadrin. People used to take that, and you used to have to take 4. You had to take 4 at breakfast, 4 at lunch, and 4 at dinner. This idiot took 8 because she was trying to speed up the process of her losing weight. And I'm talking about, this chick was shaking the whole time. I was like, you can't do that. So we've all seen people try to overcompensate. Rocky Carpenter, if you ever remember that name, baseball pitcher, he was taking one of those drugs, weight loss drugs, and he overdosed because he tried to speed up the process. You can't speed up the process. If they say 4, take 4. You can't take 8 and expect like it's going to happen faster than the process is supposed to happen. So that's why I personally think that I still take Peterson's skill over DeBonsa. And I know 6'9", 42-inch vertical. It's nice. But we just saw a dog, Jalen Brunson, do his thing. And I know Peterson's a dog. I just think this whole thing spooked him. And the further he gets away from that, the better you're going to see in terms of playing. Allen Houston and Terrell Sprewell. See, Anthony's a very knowledgeable guy. I got to give him his props. Sometimes he has his ways, but there's sometimes when he brings up a name, and Allen Houston is one of those names. Because Allen Houston was one of the best shooters I can think of. But I think the boss is close to what I think he is. I think he's more of a tall AI. And with AG, I see a lot of Kevin Durant. I don't see the Durant. I see more of a DeBonsa. Who do I see when I see DeBonsa? I'll get back to you on that because I don't know if he's I don't see that Durant because he doesn't shoot well like Durant. Durant had that jump shot at Montrose Christian, getting assists from Vasquez. So I don't think the Bonster's got that type of game. I think the Bonster's got more of a get it out the mud kind of game. So I definitely don't think that it's KD on the Bonster. And then Boss says, I think that's my problem. I see dog in. You went go back. Oh, I see dog in AJ. That's what he's saying. Um, Durant is an insult. AJ got better footwork. I don't think Durant's. Wait a second. Hold on. I don't think. Are we really saying that Durant's an insult? Yo, you guys. Yo, you get on me for Eddie Jones, and you're telling me that Kevin Durant. What?
That's not me. I didn't say anything.
Okay. Let's go ahead to pick.
All I did was I looked around, just trying to see what's going on around here.
All right, pick number 2 is Utah's. So you've taken the Bonster. Who's number 2 for you?
Darren Peterson.
Okay. My number 2 would be the Bonster. He gets to stay at home in Utah. Now, this could happen where your way happens, and then there's a trade. You know how these hats go on early, and then all of a sudden they change hands. So that's an outside possibility as well. So let's not walk away from this thinking that, because at the end, I think my way is going to work out. I think Peterson's going to end up with Wizard, and the Bonster's going to end up with the Jazz.
Well, that's what he wants anyway. He wants to stay in Utah. So,
well, the owner also wants him to stay in Utah because he's been building the brand for this kid out of Utah. So that's 2. Are you able? Do you have a mock where you can go 1 through 10? Oh, okay. Let's go.
I've done my homework.
So at number 3,
Cameron Boozer.
Who do you have? Really? I think the person you got to take is Caleb Wilson, because you got to move on from Ja. So when you move on from Ja, you got to give the fans something to come see. And I think they'd come see Caleb Wilson over Cam Boozer. I don't think they want, and I know I like the pick, Cam Boozer, but I think they want the sex appeal of the Caleb Wilson game, the possibility of getting a KG kind of player. Talking about Kevin Garnett, style of player.
It could be my style too, so I got a style.
I don't think. Like, I've never heard somebody say, "Oh, the guy that you do the show with, I see him being, I see basketball players being like him." I've never had it. So I'm gonna say that hasn't happened yet, bro.
Anthony said, my number 2, I see Utah drafting Wagner.
That's the kid from Illinois. That's interesting. That's too high. That's way too high.
At 3, that's where I see H going.
Who's H?
Who's H? Number 4.
Yes.
That's where I got Caleb Wilson at.
And at 4, I got Boozer, because I think Chicago needs somebody that's. I think A would be perfect because I think his dad played in Chicago for a spell. But I think also believe that he's just that solid person that I don't know what they're building, but I think he fits in that framework with what's the kid that you drafted last year, the foreign kid that can dunk.
Oh, geez, I'm drawing a blank here. I can see his face.
Yeah, but him and Josh Giddey fit with Boozer better than everybody else.
And what's crazy is I never wanted Josh Giddey in the first place.
And then Anthony has Caleb at 4, and
on 4 and Cameron going 5.
Yeah. What do you have at 5?
I got Wagler at 5 out of Illinois.
I think I'm gonna go with A Cup Jr. because I think A Cup stock goes up because of what people have seen happen with the Knicks and Brunson. And he's not a big body guy, but he's a scorer. And I think what you're gonna start seeing teams focus on is guys that when we get into winning moments, as Dan Quinn likes to say, I think they're gonna start putting certain players out there, and I think he's that kind of guy. Um, at at 5, I'd go with A Cup Jr.
I got him at 6.
Going to
The Nets.
the net, and so far, I think every pick we've had, if you flip our picks, you get the other person. Because I'd put Wagler to the Nets because I think the Nets need I feel like Wagler is more of a distributor than a scorer. That's the feel I get from his game. That he's going to be more of a facilitator than more of a dictator. And that's why I put Acuff at 5 because I think his game is more dictating and scoring than getting everybody else involved. So so we're at what, 7 with the Kings?
Yeah, 7. The Kings. The Kings need a point guard. So I'm gonna go Flemings. Kingston Flemings out of Houston.
We're not doing this the whole first round. So for me, I like the kid Mikael Brown Jr.
Look, I got him going 8 to the Hawks.
And I got Kingston Fleming going 8.
Jesus.
Number 9.
To what the boss said, Acuff is tough. We were talking about Acuff during the tournament, and I was like, he has a chance to lead Arkansas to the championship. Yep. He just ran out of gas. He needed help, but he carried them pretty far. What did they go to? Elite 8?
At minimum, yeah.
9, I got Braden Burries out of Arizona. A lot of freshmen in this draft too.
All right, I got the big kid out of Michigan, Mara, going to the Mavs in this spot. I think put him because I think he makes Doritos expendable because I think they're gonna move off of Doritos anyway. For those that don't know, Doritos is Gafford that plays for the Dallas Mavericks. Used to play for the Washington Wizards. So that's where we got that. You want to hit the boss's comment?
He said Peterson might fall to Memphis.
It's possible, but I don't see Utah passing on it. I honestly would love to see the Bonsa 1, Peterson 2, and see if the Wizards and the Jazz have worked out some kind of compensation to flip those two.
Number 10, I got Nate Ament out of Tennessee because they're gonna need a big just in case they lose Giannis this summer. They're gonna need a big. They're gonna need somebody to fill that hole.
For the first time in the 2026 Sideline Junkies top 10 mock draft, the Midnight Rider and the big guy KG actually agree on a pick. That's why I have at 10. Nate Ament.
Anthony said at 7, I see Kingston Fleming. At 8, I see Nate. At 9, I see LeBron Phelan. At 10 is Adam Mara.
Oh, 9, that's the other big from Michigan. That's what he's talking about. I don't think his name is LeBron Phelan, but I think that's spell check that got him on that one. But I know who he's talking about.
And the balls BJ said, I think it's a real concern. Real concerns with him talking about Peterson.
I don't think there's any concerns with him. I think everybody's going because I really feel like he's the guy that if you pass on him in 5 years, your fan base is going to say, "Why didn't we take him?" But I think you can say the same about both. I think both of those guys, the Bonsa and Peterson, can make impacts when they come into this league. I think it's kind of a pick your poison or what's your flavor of the month. You know what I'm saying? You might like, I don't know, vanilla ice cream, and I like butter pecan. You know what I'm saying? So,
LeBaron Phelan
There
out
we
of
go.
Alabama, sophomore, LeBaron, not LeBron,
Okay.
LeBaron. So Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Tune in to I won't even call it a Tuesday night fight. Tune into a special edition of Nothing But Net, the draft special. So make sure you there for that. One last comment, and then we'll move on.
We want to take it back to the blacktop because we got our 5. We got our 5 coming to the joint, and I ain't mad at our 5.
He said LeBaron feeling guard from Alabama. Yep.
Yep.
LeBaron, not LeBron. You forgot to end there. I got you though. We got you. We know who you talking about. Next up, talking a little World Cup. Are we good at soccer?
Let's stay basketball.
Okay, stay basketball.
Yeah, let's talk ladies basketball, the WNBA, and let's get that knocked out.
So would you say that we're going to go with the Miles Report?
Yes, we will talk a little bit of the Miles Report. And
see, we need typewriters or something going on when we start talking about the Miles Report. We need typewriters.
But this week in the Miles Report, I'm just gonna go off her last ball game, which wasn't her best ball game. She shot 1 for 10 from the field. She did score 7 points. I think she had 5 assists and 6 rebounds. I think that was her stat line. I'm trying to pull that up as we were talking, but I like how you threw that up there just now. But Minnesota does win, not convincingly, but they do still to win in their last matchup. This is interesting too, man. This wasn't their typical ball game. They struggled early. They struggle often. They beat the Valkyrie 81-75. It's just interesting watching these ladies play, man. Her teammates, Nia Coffey's dropped 22. McBride dropped 17. And yeah, she had 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. So she still filled up the stat sheet, but she didn't have her classic, 20-point night, which we've grown accustomed to during this stretch. Prior to her last 7 ball games. Another person of interest, and I'm going to say it this way, or a team of interest first, is the Mystics. Because the Mystics beat New York the other night. I think that's also Friday night. And we're going to stay with the University of Notre Dame. And Miss Citron dropped 16 points, has 6 rebounds, 8 assists. And then Kiki, are you with me? She drops 20 and gives them 6 boards as well. The rookie Lauren Betts has been struggling. She did have a good night of shooting. She was 4-6. She gets 8 points, 5 rebounds. But that's gonna be a tough adjustment for her, and it's been a tough adjustment. The Liberty Stewie goes 16-10 in terms of rebounds. Is it Youngkel Jones goes 10-10. Enescu gives you 9 on 4, 13 shooting, 1 of 6 from 3. So that's the Mystics part of this. And then last night we had 3 games on the ledger. And I just want to run through the scores real quick. The Dream 113-96 over the Fever. Mercury 93-73 over the Storm. And the Wings 93-92 over the Sky. And the Wings got an interesting lineup. I think they almost have too many scores to a certain point. Last night, their leading scorer was Jessica Shepard with 21, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Paige goes for 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists. And then Azzy Fudd goes 13, 5, and 2. And then for the big guy, because I know this actually leads into the next topic, we got the Dream over the Fever. Caitlin Clark goes 26 points, Oh God, here we go. 26 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, and her protagonist Angel Reese goes for 18 points and 8 rebounds. Also, a good showing from Jordan Canada, 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 12 assists. Big guy KG, talk to me, baby.
Well, you said you wanted to allude to our next topic, so we can roll right into that. Is Angel Reese good? She is, because she just recorded a record 1,000 rebounds in 79 games. So if you don't think the girl's good, you don't know ball. But not only that, if she could just be a little bit more fluid in her movement, she'd be even better on the block. Dare I say it?
Go ahead. I know it's coming. What do you
Dare
want me to
I
say?
say it?
You want me to say it? Because I think I know what you're going to say.
Go ahead.
She's going to be killing them with the lateral movement?
Exactly. She need to go ahead and see Hakeem so she can do that. If she goes, what is that? I think it's $100,000 to go train with Hakeem Olajuwon.
Killing
So
them with the lateral movement? I'm sorry,
she,
man. I knew you. Yeah.
You
You've
knew
done
I
this
was
a
at.
few times.
You knew where I was at. But it's a lot of people give her so much flack. And I'm like, why?
It's not aesthetically pleasing. It's not the prettiest of moves. I call her the female Tyler Hansborough. Like, it's ugly, but it's effective. Like, you can never put this in a contest where, like, she got points for aesthetics because it's not aesthetically pleasing, but it is effective. Like, she could never be a gymnast. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't look pretty when she do it.
Agreed. But to answer the question, is Angel Reese good? I think Angel Reese is better than good. I would love to see her lock in the off season, but she has so many endorsements and deals, and she's being pulled in so many ways. I would love to see her lock in the off season and do nothing but just get in the lab and focus on basketball. I understand she got to get her money and everything. I just want to see her focus on basketball and show because what's crazy is we had this conversation on this very network, might have been on this show, while she was at LSU, and we talked about how good she was going to be coming into the WNBA. We talked about that rivalry. We actually called the rivalry between her and Caitlin Clark 2 years before it took the stage in the WNBA. We said that's going to be the WNBA's Magic Bird moment.
Yeah, I still cringe every time you say it.
But you had to have that rivalry. But unfortunately, now if I'm going to be real about it, let me just go ahead and be real. You got Iowa versus LSU. And when they met up, you got Angel Reese who talks trash, Caitlin Clark who talks trash. And they met up. And when she hit her with this, she hit her with her own thing. Because Caitlin Clark was doing that. When Angel Reese hit it with her, everything exploded. But then it turned from something that was pure and about basketball, and it turned into race.
Right.
That's where it went off the rails at. It shouldn't have never turned to race.
But
with the basketball.
In a country that's always had, people always say, and it's great that you say this today, because in a country that's divided at times by race, this is probably one of the biggest days that division is shown on Sunday. When we talk about going to church, that steeple in the background of this thing, that steeple is very, very divided by race at times. You know, we even hear comics talk about it: black church, white church. You know, the differences, and it's something that happens, and I think that's one of the crazier things about our world is we are always going to go back to that, always, because it's it's almost embedded in our thought process, and it's embedded in the way we treat people.
Agreed. But when I talk about her, I talk about her when I talk about Angel Reese. When I talk about her with love and admiration because I'm a fan. I bangs with her. I love anybody that can miss a shot, follow it up, get the rebound, put it back up, get bumped, miss the shot, get it rebound back. That's a lot of energy you're exerting. It's me bounds. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and trademark me bounds. Guess what? Every time it's used, she get money off of it. That's cool. She can miss all the shots she wants, but guess what? Persistence pays off. And what does she do? She gets the bucket.
I got Anthony's on point today.
He asked about Paige Buchers. How's she doing at the beginning of the season?
She's been, like I told y'all, that Dallas team has so much talent that they got a bunch of scores, but she's been playing good so far.
He said, go ahead.
No, I like this. Yeah, I agree with Midnight. Of course you do, Anthony, because you're smart. Angel Reese game is not pleasing to the naked eye because the footwork is not consistent enough. That's why she gets underrated. I think it's not so much I think it's part of the footwork, but I think her footwork has gotten better. I think it's the finish. Like the way she does her layups. It just doesn't, it looks very awkward. She has a very awkward game. And when I think about her game, the awkwardness, I would almost compare it to, and again, I'm not putting her in this realm. I'm saying the level of awkward that we talk about. Remember Sean Marion's shot? How ugly that looked?
He never fully extended. It was just like, but it always went in.
But it's the awkwardness that we're talking about. Like, that's how I feel about her game. It's like, it's got that it's really weird. She's almost like a successful Michael Kidd Gilchrist. Because you remember his jump shot when he first came in the league, that joint was all kinds of flicted. And that's a word. Flicted is a word.
It was like all the way over here. Yeah.
It was almost Baby Cartwright to some extent. So that's what I think of in that situation. We got one more. Here we go. Tim Watkins, top it. If Reese was white, everyone would be calling her great, just like Clark is great now. Missing a lot of games. She has missed a lot of games. Hey, Tim, I don't think I text you, but happy Father's Day, brother.
Yeah, happy Father's Day, Tim. Most definitely.
He definitely missed the Lip Eyes talk because he would have been all over that.
Right. See, we're going to have to do something. Might have to make it a team event. Just get everybody in.
No, we're good.
Where you want to go, MLB or soccer first?
Let's go break and then figure it out because I need to get ice.
All right. So I know what that means. Long break, baby.
Long break. Woo! Give me a little bit of time, brother. Come on.
So
hot tub. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, speaking of which, the Brandon Ayuk video with him in the bathtub. I mean, in the bathrobe. You didn't think, or did anybody think, putting James Brown, Eddie Murphy, get in the hot tub when he was doing all those touchdown celebrations?
Oh my goodness! I'm not even. Yeah.
Put a toe in it. Because it feels good. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go to break.
All right, we'll be right back.
I swear you played that already, but okay. If you didn't, my bad. But they all starting to look alike. It's like, never mind. I'm not gonna go there with that joke. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sideline Junkie Sunday Rise, where there's no better way to start the week than with the Sideline Junkies. Anthony's got one quick NBA comment. Let's go ahead and address that because that's part of the big things that's be going on right before this NBA draft, and it's the where is Giannis or where will Giannis end up? Back to the NBA real quick. I don't think Milwaukee is going to trade him within the East or to a rival like Miami. I think it's going to be to the West, the Rockets or Spurs. That could happen, but I think the time has happened for Giannis to just get out of it because they've messed up however they tried to build it. They can't bring him back. Their plan from here on out cannot be to rebuild around Giannis because they've gotten it wrong ever since they won the title. So I'll stay with that. You got anything on this, KG?
My hope would always be Chicago, but I digress. But if they send him to the Spurs, how are you going to work him into the Spurs with Wemby and having two bigs that can handle the ball? Well,
nah, it's not going. I don't like that because then you're going to have to give up something. You're going to have to give up a Castle. Like Milwaukee's going to want some of that young talent that you have. If I'm Milwaukee and you want Giannis, you got to give me Dylan Harper. Yep. You got to give me Harper off the break.
Agreed.
Yeah, the conversation starts with him and ends with him.
Tim said Reese has done things already that A'ja Wilson hasn't done yet. And A'ja Wilson is considered the best player in the league right now.
Okay. All right, let's go, man. What we got next, man?
Let's hope the Bullets don't fuck it up. Fuck this up and take Peterson. You missed that earlier.
A better player. I mean, we'll have this conversation later and we'll argue, but Peterson's the better player of the two. I don't know why you don't think that, but he is.
All right.
It's probably because you're a Boston fan, and Boston fans don't actually, because you're the same guy that didn't like your team taking Tatum, and I had to talk you off the ledge. You probably do remember that, right, player? Right? Okay. Go ahead, KG.
Are we good at soccer?
Yes! In the face! Yes, USA is good at soccer right now, KG. I've watched 2 games, and parts of 2 games, and I've never seen the US team be this good athletically. I said something coming into this when we started talking about the World Cup, and I said this is the best collection of athleticism and players that the US has ever had. The question would always be, can they be a team? Because they don't have the opportunity like US teams in the past of always being able to play together, because a lot of these guys have their international and league ties, so they can't always make the friendlies or they can't make certain events. So you gotta play it on the fly. And my new guy is, I got 2 on this team, actually 3. I love Antonio Freeman's son, Austin Freeman, because he can play a little bit of everything. And they play him in like this hybrid position where he can help in defense, but he can also, if the team is moving up and advancing, he can get involved in the advance. And I love that for this country. He's a very dynamic scorer. They got a defenseman. I think the kid's name is Richards, if memory serves me correctly. That's basically just been dominant. I mean, there's no other way to say it. He even does the Mutombo finger wag when players come into his area or to his zone, and he gets a stop. And that's, I'm sorry, it's not Austin Freeman, it's Alex Freeman. And because I said Austin, that's not a shot to him. All right. No shots. I'm not talking about somebody else. I know who you're gonna think of, but no, that's not a shot on him. And then the other one is the guy, I think his name is Folarian Balagan. I think that's how you say his name. That kid's been on fire. Um, he's been he is, and I'll say it this way, and I'll say it this way confidently. You can take your Landon Donovan, put that way down the list because this kid is for real. Donovan, Dempsey, all those guys have never done what this kid has done in this situation. And we just getting started. And somebody picked USA in our brackets on our picks to win this. I forgot who it was, but I think the US can coming into it. I wasn't sure. After watching this team play, I almost feel like if they can't get to the 8, I'd be a little disappointed because of what I'm watching. And I haven't seen them play like this. Now they could get better competition and make some of the mistakes they're making against these other teams like Australia and Paraguay and pay for it. But I just think this team can make American soccer so different, such a revelation, by advancing to the 8. I know I said coming in that if we got to 16, it'd be the apex of my thoughts. But after I've watched this team, I think I'm almost a little disappointed they don't make it to the final 8. That's how talented I think this team USA is. And they've played that second game against Australia. They played out Pulisic, and I think God, Pulisic is such a game breaker. And I hope they keep him out of game 2. I mean, game 3. I think a couple of guys that got yellow cards this last matchup against Australia. I think you got to sit some of them so they don't get in trouble. And I don't even know what Turkey or Turkey because I guess they wanted to be like Prince and change their name. Because now there's the I and the E somewhere in Turkey. I don't know what that means. I don't know what they're doing with that. I guess they're trying to be provocative because that gets the people going. I don't know. But I don't know what motivation they have because they've been all but eliminated from this tournament. Because they have the loss to the U.S. and the loss to Australia. So, I mean, not Australia, I mean, U.S., I mean, Paraguay. So, I don't know what they're going to have left in the engine in terms of effort that they want to put forth in this. They may already be at 123 Cancun Boulevard. So, it's going to be interesting how the USA plays this next game because they've already done enough to clinch advancing to the next round. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Next up, I just got to sit back and watch, man, because you got all this. What do you say? I know just enough to be dangerous, so I need you to be dangerous.
So this is our CONCACAF division. That's the division we're in when it comes to soccer. So Mexico and U.S. have essentially clinched with their 2 victories. They've both clinched spots into the knockout round. So it's going to be fun. I think Canada's on the verge. They can advance. I think it depends on what they do in this third game, whether they can advance as a 1 or a 2. And then the soccer board, the way it plays out, it's so crazy that I don't even want to get involved in that because the 1 goes here, the 2 goes there, and I ain't got time for that. So I'm gonna wait for the bracket to actually play itself out with this last round of games this week, and go from there. And that's when we will launch the Sideline Junkies Knockout Round Challenge for soccer. So be ready. Keep your eyes open because it's going to happen. And when it happens, We want you there. We want you participating.
Most definitely. Tim got some NBA comments. He said, "Why trade for Young and draft Johnson 1 year prior?" And he said, "AJ fits what they need and the position small forward they crave for."
They don't see why we stop playing position basketball. We got to stop doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This isn't that type of league anymore. You put your best 5 athletes out there, and as long as the only thing you got to worry about is making sure you got a bid. But you put your best 5 athletes out there, because I think Keyshawn George can play power. We'll end up playing some minutes at power forward at the 4 on this team, so you can get your better shooting on the court. Why wouldn't you want Peterson and his scoring next to Trae Young and Trey Johnson? That would be the most dynamic basketball lineup the Wizards Bullets have ever had in my lifetime. I grew up in a lifetime where when I shot a jump shot on a DC basketball court, I had to say Jeff Malone. And there's no shot to Jeff Malone, but Jeff Malone as the best scorer of your lifetime or your growing up period, that's not fun. I love Jeff. But Jeff was an all-star, but he wasn't a superstar.
Jeff Malone's a better scorer than Bernard King.
Bernard King, by the time Bernard King got here, he was 100 years old. I was actually in the barbershop, and the guy said, "How old Bernard King?" He said, "Bernard King, he 155 years old."
Oh, shit. He said Peterson's reputation is already a problem that the Bullets, in capital letters, don't need, and he will be crying about a trade in 2 years.
Stop reading the clippings. That's all I'm going to say. That kid's more in the basketball than you ever... you just don't know. I'm telling you right now. Peter, I will place a bet with anybody. If we still here in 5 years, both of us, whoever it is, had a career, bottle of, I won't say blue because I don't know what my money situation is. Johnny Walker Green, Tim. I'll put a bottle of Johnny Walker Green in 5 years. Peterson's the better player than the Bonza. You let me know how you want to do.
And he said, "Yeah, 4 guards, 0 championships."
Okay.
And
I just know what I saw the Knicks do.
To your point about Bernard King, his last season as a Bullet, 28.4 points a game on one leg.
Yeah, that's the part. I mean, I don't even want to say names because that's gonna be a shot to everybody. But I still think Jeff Malone. I mean, I wasn't thinking about Bernard King when I was going to the court. I always remember, because I know if you are of age and you watch the Bullets, the one thing every time you went to, you know how we all do the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You take the jump shot. Where there was a point in time that every time you was doing that, you was on the baseline, on the sideline, shooting that fall away that Jeff Malone shot, going out of bounds as you didn't say like Malone, you didn't do that. Like it wasn't that kind of thing, but that was our thing growing up. Everybody tried the Jeff Malone. All right, let's go back to let's finish the soccer thing. We've pretty much are finishing up the second games for a lot of teams, and next week we're moving into game 3. This is where positions are going to get taken or be made. Where teams will win groups and things of that nature. One of my other surprise teams, Netherlands, had a hell of a game yesterday. I think they scored 5 goals and won their matchup. It was really tough when we were doing our sleeper picks. I had to decide between Morocco and the Netherlands. And all I remember is every time I've watched the World Cup, I've seen that bright orange of the Netherlands always be around in a knockout phase. So, but something inside of me said, let's go with Morocco. Morocco hasn't disappointed, but we'll see. We'll go from there. And we'll see what happens next. But what we got after this?
We got a little baseball.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, hell
So
yeah.
with the
After this.
baseball, Schwarber and Harper have a day. Please tell me about it.
Oh yeah. So last night, um, dang, that was a song I was about to jump into it. I'm glad I stopped myself. Cause I think that's As Yet.
Last night. Let me just say this. That's probably the most poetic song about some nasty shit that you can do. But it earned radio play and was a hit.
Oh man.
That's all I'm gonna say.
So last night, Bryce Harper goes off, and one of the by the sixth inning, he had already completed hitting for the cycle. So his at bat in the sixth inning, he hits the ball into the gap, and they call it a little league triple, where you run through the stop sign if there is a stop sign, and you run till somebody basically tags you. But Bryce was able to slide into third base and complete his cycle, and we were in the sixth inning of the baseball game. Um, there's one other person, there's another Philly that has done that in Philly's history, but that was an amazing accomplishment. And then you tie that in to Kyle Schwarber hitting 3 home runs last night in that same ball game. The Phillies got all over. I think they were playing the Mets. It was a feeding frenzy, and that's how we end up with this segment with Schwarber and Harper having a day. They just got after it, man. It was phenomenal. Um, what's that song? Something like a phenomenon. Yeah, it was something like that.
LL Cool J.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what I got for that part of it.
All right. And debuting today, June 19, 2026, the Nationals player spotlight. Let me put this up right. Do this right. Let me do this right. Put the spotlight on the Nats player.
All right. So our Nats player spotlight. If you listen to this show on many occasions, there's a guy. Chris Collinsworth, KG. Now
There's a guy.
Now here's a guy. His name is Nasim Nunez. I've said time and time again he should be their everyday starter at shortstop. He's their best defensive shortstop, but they moved him second, and I get that. I get the move to second because Abrams' trade value is him playing shortstop and him being a very good shortstop. And then when you move him on, if you move on from him, which should probably happen in the offseason if you're not going to sign him, and then you believe, because that means you believe in Seaver King, the kid you have down in AAA, then okay. Yes, and we are talking baseball right now. So here we go. Nasim Nunez has had one of the craziest nights. A week ago, he had like 2 triples and like 2 RBI in a game. Last night, I think he went 2 for 4. Trying to get his stats here for the week. So last night he was 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI. On Friday, he was 1 for 3. On Wednesday, he was 2 of 3. On Tuesday, he was 2 of 2 with 2 triples and 3 runs scored. So that's the ball game I was referring to. And then on Monday, he was 2 of 2 with 2 runs scored. This kid doesn't. He's at 240. Oh, that's his away average. His away average is 248. His season total right now is hitting 230. He has 0 home runs, 24 RBI. I think he's in the top. Yeah, he's got 27 steals. This talk about a baseball player, talk about a guy winning time moments. We talk about it all the time because of Dan Quinn. But winning time moments, he's a guy that makes the play. He's a guy that goes from first to third on the ball in the gap. You know what I'm saying? I just see this being an option where a player where he's maximizing his opportunity, and I think he's a glue guy. I told you guys before, KG, you've heard me say this, that the best if you can solidify the defense up the middle of your team, and that's Cruz or Jacob Young at center field, your second baseman and your shortstop. If you can make those things work, you're going to be. You may not be a great defensive team, but you're going to win and save your team some runs. And I think that's what they've had the luxury of doing. They've been able to save some runs and make things happen. And here we are. You know, this team is overachieving, and they're going to probably end up making you look like a soothsayer because you wanted them to have like 78 or 80 wins. And I was like, KG, that's not going to happen. Well, I'm looking like I'm going to be dead wrong, and you're going to be right in this scenario.
The simple fact that you said soothsayer, good grief. I ain't heard that since 10th grade English.
Hey, man, I got to have an expansive vocabulary, KG.
That's a SAT word.
That's Archbishop Carroll coming out. I'm sorry.
We got a couple comments to get to, especially Anthony's, while we talking baseball real quick. He said he asked this on Friday.
I'm staying on topic. Yes, this was great.
It's midnight on Stream Friday. I wanted your thoughts on the owners. According to Ken Rosenthal, have a proposal with no more high school kids getting drafted. Everybody has to go to college for 3 years. No more posting system, international free agency, and international draft. Now, I don't know if you covered this, but as far as my thoughts on it, I think it's stupid. I think baseball, being drafted out of high school in baseball is different because you got to have an eye. And you get drafted out of and go to AA, you get to get your money up front and sign a contract. You can pay for yourself to go through college, or you can defer and then go through college as an amateur athlete and then get drafted again in a higher spot. But it's development. You have so many levels of minor league that you can develop. It's no point in just saying, oh, you got to go to college for 3 years. Everybody doesn't go to college for 3 years. That phenom that's coming out of high school that's hitting 520 and has no weakness in his game whatsoever. Why would I want him to go to college? I want to get him in my system, and I want to get him going. Because by the time he's 19, it's opening day and he's on the roster. And this he's able to be the first guy since Ted Williams to hit 400 for a season. He's the one that's going to break DiMaggio's 56-game hit streak. He's fast enough that he'll get close to stealing 160 bases in a season because, you had 60 at the end of the season. Ricky had 60 by an all-star break. That why would I want that guy to go to college for 3 years and then you don't know what happened? Then let's say he gets hurt. He gets into a slump. He gets the yips. Now I got nothing. When I could have had him out of high school and had him rolling with me. That's just my opinion. That's just my thought. Midnight Rob.
Oh, this is baseball owners. And I said this, I think Friday when we answered the question. This is baseball owners trying to mitigate their losses because they know they've taken these chances on these high school kids. And some of them have worked out and some of them haven't. And the percentages hasn't really been in their favor. So they feel like they're throwing money away. So that's the only reason they're proposing this. And again, because baseball has a very, I'll say it this way, their player association advocates on behalf of the best interests of the players. There's no way this is going to go through. There's no way because they're going to want more opportunities for their players, which goes against everything they believe in by taking away the high school players. And I think there's some high school players that have shown well. And of course, there's some that haven't shown. Take the Knights, for example. They got the kid Eli Willits. who's looking like a star. You got Jackson Holiday up in Baltimore, looking like, well, he was looking like a star. I don't know what he's done this season, but he's had some injuries and things of that nature. But we've had some guys get drafted as high schoolers and get to the majors in a short period of time. And I just think the problem is baseball is trying to mitigate their loss in this situation. And this proposal is built totally on that, because there are teams that don't invest in their scouting and they just have terrible farm systems. There's no way the LA Angels should have that porous of a farm system. There's some teams that their systems are so god awful. I'm surprised. The Yankees keep a consistent system. The Nationals have built up a decent system. Hasn't been great, but it's been decent. I'm sorry, I just got distracted. Kid just texted me. Where was I at? Oh, farm systems that are trash. Like Toronto's got an okay one. Like Atlanta's always had a good one. It's just these owners now are trying to mitigate their losses as much as they possibly can, and they're almost trying to make sure that we have, or almost guarantee ourselves, a lockout of some sort coming here in the near future, because they're doing everything that they know the MLBPA would never go for. And I hope I answered your question, Anthony.
Most definitely. I know you answered mine. Tim had a lot to say, so let's get this real quick. He said AJ can play more positions and play more games than Peterson. He said when he's not taking himself out of games, and that is a bet Peterson's playing for someone else. You keep forgetting the reputation of the area has for partying and the players who have fallen victim to it. Weber, Strickland, and Party John Ramos.
At one point in time, fans thought that we could trade Party John Ramos for Shaq straight up and get him. One of my favorite ones.
DC Nightlife will eat Peterson up quick. And KG
that's the misconception. That's the biggest misconception, is Peterson's not a club guy. He's a basketball guy. He's a basketball guy through and through. And the problem is everybody keeps putting these things on him, and it's not true. He's not a partier. We're not going to see him over in Congress Heights caught up with LaQuisha and fall in love with her when she got 4 babies by 5 dudes. It's not going to happen. This kid's a basketball gym rat. And I agree with you, because we always say this, Tim. We always say we got to keep him away from Congress Heights. We got to keep him away from Kennedy Street. We got to keep him away from those places. You know what I'm saying?
You said that for the longest. You've always said that. The People's Choice Don Rodriguez said, "Happy Father's Day to all, especially KG. It's hard to produce a football team at his age." Really? Really? He said, GTA 6 reservations will begin on Thursday.
All right.
That's good. I had to find me a deal on that shit. He said, Andy said, "I agree with the proposal because what Midnight said makes sense. There's less failure rate with college kids than there is with high school."
But see, I think that's 1 and 1. I don't think that's I don't necessarily agree with that it's 1 for 1, because this is a great example. The perfect example was your guys. Yep. What?
No, you got it.
Because the perfect example was your guys Washington Nationals with Elijah Green. He was this apparently generational outfield prospect and hasn't gotten past single A in baseball. Yeah, the only problem with him was he had a hole in his swing and they thought they could fix it. And the kid just can't fix it. His team can't get. But the Nationals have also done 2 things. They've drafted Seaver King, who's, like I said, he's in AAA right now, mauling. Yo-Yo Morales, who was drafted in the 2nd round, he's hitting the cover off the ball. The only problem is they don't have a spot for him because Curtis Mead is playing well, and Luis Garcia is playing well. So you kind of got to figure it out. I personally believe, and everybody's know what I'm about to say here next, is I'd put Luis Garcia on the first thing popping right now because he's playing above his skis. And I'd let somebody else take that, and I'd bring up a yo-yo and let him play because we get younger, we get better, all in the same time. And I'd rather take that risk with that type of player. But that's me, and I do things a little bit differently. Um, but yeah, I totally agree with you, Elijah Green. But I just think for every Elijah Green, there's a college kid that has failed as well. All right, let's not think that these college kids are 1-to-1 because if you were here at this time last year, people thought Stephen King was a failure. So these things like this isn't like a 1-to-1 comparison. I think MLB is trying to eliminate playing kids at 18 and then them not getting to the spot because they lack the player development side of it. They don't do the player development side well. I mean, you can say about this Washington national team. This national team didn't do player development well during the Rizzo years. And now you're watching kids, their minor league teams are playing some of the best baseball there is. You're seeing guys have career years. You're seeing a guy like a Jacob Young who hit 5 home runs in his whole career, has 7 home runs on the season. Like this team is doing a hell of a job on the player development side. You know, they're giving these guys plays. You're getting Nunez, who's playing second for the first time, playing almost an all-star level shortstop. I mean, second base, but he would be an all-star shortstop on any other team. But because of CJ Abrams and his bat, it's not happening. You know, he's got a roadblock to that place. So I'll say it that way. I don't know.
Well, we come to that point in the show on a Sunday.
Sunday.
What you eating?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I got ground beef sitting in the fridge. I could do spaghetti. But there's in the words of the poet laureate Winnie the Pooh, there's a rumbly in my tumbly, and I kind of want. I feel like I want to do a brisket, like brisket sandwiches today. So I might end up ordering from what's that place right by us? DC Smokehouse. Get like a half pound of brisket, and lunch and dinner be brisket sandwiches with a little barbecue sauce and whatever else.
I ain't fully decided, but I know as soon as we get off here, I'm going out. So
I got you.
We'll figure out food later on. And yesterday I had a half smoke from, Baltimore is famous for a lot of things. Crabs, half smokes. DC's known for half smokes too. Italian sausage, I should say, is Baltimore.
Real quick,
and the onions.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Go ahead, keep it going.
But if you've been to Baltimore and you've never had a half smoke, and they cook them like all in the case, and they curled up, and they cook the peppers and onions separate, and they cut it, and they don't put it on a bun per se. They put it on a sub roll.
Yes.
I forgot how good that was.
Oh. Now I got to interrupt you. What's your topping? So you got the half smoke,
Mm-hmm.
you got the onions and peppers, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your condiment?
Well, also, depending on where I'm at, I got to get sauerkraut.
Okay.
But ketchup, mustard, relish, raw onions, maybe, just maybe if it's there, depending on where I'm at, give me like a little stripe of mumbo sauce. And I'm good.
Your stomach just don't like you at all. Jesus Christ. if I get a hash smoke with onions and peppers, I gotta find the spicy brown mustard.
Yes.
Give me a nice wiggle on that. Because I've
But now
already
take
got,
it deeper. What
huh?
brand spicy brown mustard?
I just need spicy brown mustard.
Oh, okay. So you don't do. I got a certain brand. That's what is it? Gildan's.
I like Gildan's. That's
Yeah,
probably
that's the one. Only one
yeah,
that tastes right to me.
that's the one that's in the fridge right now is the Gildan's. So I'm with you on that. Oh, Anthony got something nice going on here.
Chicago dog, Anthony. Chicago dog all the way. I love a good coney, but a Chicago dog is nothing better in the world. Like I don't need with a Chicago dog. I don't need no condiments. Just give me the dog with the onions, the tomatoes, and the peppers. I'm good. I don't need nothing else.
Y'all need to go to Hot Dog in
Alexandria.
Yep.
Yep.
They got all that stuff. Let's get to Anthony's. What he's eating. We might do a whole roasted rosemary chicken with rice and peas and baked potato and 2 tomahawk steaks.
Woo!
I just gained 5 pounds reading that. Woo! What's next? Wrap that up.
And
all right,
I got 2 things.
Go ahead.
But you want to go first?
No, you go first.
Okay. My 2 things. Number 1, most importantly, from my wife to you, she says, "Happy Father's Day, brother."
Tell Lovey thank you.
Lovey, he said thank you. She said, "You welcome." I'm not calling you dear though.
I appreciate that. You don't know the appreciation I have for you not calling me dead, bro. And I heard her, so that makes it better.
Second thing. 29 years ago today, the WNBA tipped off for the first time.
Okay.
LA Sparks versus the New York Liberty in LA. And I've thrown this out so many times. Up and down game. First points weren't scored, I think, until like 6 or 7 minutes into the game. Who scored the first points in WNBA history, Midnight Rider?
Lisa Leslie?
No.
I have no idea.
Penny Toller, jumper from the right-hand side. You know how I know that? Because I watched it live.
I remember watching it, but I wouldn't have pulled Penny Toller. If anything, I would have thought it'd have been a Kim Parat cheap sale. So
I actually had I used to have that whole entire game on VHS tape and would not record over. I would go back and watch them like, man, they were so tired from all the practicing they did. They couldn't score coming off. And Lisa Leslie actually tried to dunk in that game. She just didn't have the legs to get it done. Then she wound up getting it done a couple of years later. So,
all right. I guess wrap that up is we got the U.S. Open today. Still going on right now as we speak in Shinnecock. And right now, Wyndham Clark is way out in front of everybody. He's at -7. The closest people are at -1. So 2 things would have to happen for somebody to beat him. The person that's trailing him would have to play probably. They'd have to score at least a 67 to a 64. And then he would have to come back and give them 2 or 3 strokes back in order for them to overtake him. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And yes, Anthony, I totally agree. The Marlins have struggled over the last few years, developing hitters and pitching. I always say, I think the Jose Fernandez death hurt the Marlins way more than they will ever know and think. because I think it touched every level of their program. But Wyndham Clark is -7. Second place is -1. This is the day where people make moves, so guys can make moves and move up the leaderboard and move down the leaderboard, and get themselves in the position to try to win this tournament. But Clark is going to have to do them a favor and play some of the worst golf of his life to lose this lead. This has got to be like, I think we've talked about before, where like a Greg Norman falls apart on the last day of the tournament, ends up losing because somebody has this great comeback. That's the level that Wyndham Clark would have to be on. And I don't know if we'll get that, because I think it was a couple years ago he won the US Open before. So I don't see him having the championship jitters in that regard. So it's going to be interesting. We'll see how it goes from there.
All right.
And shout out to the correspondent, because he gave me Wyndham Clark as a person to bet on, and I didn't put much on it. So yeah, if Wyndham Clark wins, we get a little cash. We're not going to Sizzler, but we can DoorDash.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can go. Yeah, man, you can't go to Sizzler, but you can DoorDash. All right, that's good. That's still good.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Don't forget, tomorrow you have drive time at 5. No pretenders or contenders tomorrow, as Coach is out of town. Tuesday, you have unapologetic. I believe they're doing their GOAT point guards on Tuesday. So I got to come in there, and you already know who I'm gonna show love for. I got to show love for John Houston Stockton, because if his name's not mentioned, the whole list is invalid. But I'll save that for Tuesday. Then after that, at 8 p.m. during the NBA draft, you have a special edition of.
We're starting at 7:45. So at 7:45.
7:45.
Yeah. So what we're doing is 7:45. We're doing, because we're not going to be able to do everybody's mock. I think we'll have another rendition of this where we do the top 10. Everybody's top 10. By the time the draft gets started at 8, I'm thinking the draft's not going to start to 8:05, 8:10. And we'll have the ability to get everybody's, first couple of picks in, and then we go from there. So that's how Tuesday will go.
And then Wednesday, I guess, go over the whole entire thing and any trades that happen once we go off air on the.
Yeah. So Wednesday will be a recap of round 1, and don't forget the NBA has done the 2-day drafting. So the second day will be happening as we're probably in the 8 o'clock hour of the show, because we're going to start at 7:30, I think.
Okay.
I'll recap.
And then Thursday night throwdown, and we back at it again. So no excuse not to join us on the trip around the sports universe.
And 7:15 Friday, we're going to try again to see what this Friday night freestyle is like. So we're going to give that an opportunity. By Wednesday, we'll throw the suggestion box out. So if you're following the Sideline Junkies podcast on Facebook or the 24/7 page, we'll throw the suggestion box out, and we'll basically ask you for topics you want to throw out there. And hopefully we can find a topic. We'll find a couple topics that we'll like, and we'll feature them on Friday. Friday night freestyle from the People's Podcast. Actually, you know what? We'll call that the People's Show, where the people dictate the terms. Host, you can have anybody. Anybody that wants to entertain, anybody that wants to walk that aisle. Woo! Oh, and also, Chris Russell, this is for you and you intentionally. You said something about me being called the ambassador of bits. Well, here we go. At the Great American Bash, baby, in the Omni in Atlanta, we can go 1-on-1 for the ambassador of bits title, baby. We can take it back to 1993, baby, at the Atlanta Omni. The Midnight Rider, the Rooster, 1-on-1, steel cage, baby. Two men walk in, one man walks out with the title forever, baby. Ambassador of Bits. Go ahead, KG. I'm sorry.
I'm putting that out. You give me a little bit. I'm putting that out. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll make that myself. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. Enjoy your Father's Day. Enjoy your Sunday. Man, just enjoy the day. It's beautiful weather, so let's get it. Until next time, that's the Midnight Ride. I'm the big guy, KG. We does the overtime, but we get paid for it, baby. We are out of here.